We welcome you into the Vikings arena for a GMC showdown between two undefeated squads in the Mason Comets and the Princeton Vikings. My name is Isaac Vargo, alongside my broadcast partner Trevor Rose. And Trevor, Princeton just played their last game just a few days ago. The Comets have had a couple thriller wins so far this year. What are you expecting in this game? It's
going to be a close one till the end, and then maybe we'll see one team pull away from the other. The Comets, like you mentioned, have been in close games all year. Their first win, 1-point victory, 46-45 against Fairmont. And then just Tuesday night, they played St. Xavier at Mason and won that game 34-33. The Comets defense has been one of the biggest factors so far this season, and I expect more defense coming out tonight for the Comets.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be another step up. You started with Fairmont, and then St. X was going to be a huge step up, and they got that win, a huge win at that. It is non-conference being the GCL and St. X, but this is where it matters. A conference game, the first one of the year, and the first conference game for new head coach CJ Fleming.
And Coach CJ Fleming has had a great year. Obviously, Tuesday, facing off against his brother, who is the St. X head coach. And then obviously, when you hear the name Fleming in the Cincinnati area, when it comes to basketball, you think of his father, who is a legend in the Cincinnati area for being a basketball coach at LaSalle. And then tonight, I mean, you see the starting five for the Comets. Both Lipinski's on the floor. Bryson Johnson, Tosin Aladapo, and Sid Wortham getting ready to go on the court for the Comets.
And then for the Princeton Vikings, they can put the ball in the hoop. They've scored 89 points in their home opener. 27-7 was the score after the first quarter. They're under Coach Brian Wyant, and he has done a very good job under the Princeton Vikings. This is his 6th year at Princeton, and before there he had 12 years at Hughes High School, and he knows how to beat this Comet team. He's beaten them 3 of the last 4 times, and he has a very experienced group to do it with.
Absolutely. You look at last year when these two teams met in the playoffs, they met at Lakota West in a neutral playing site game, and it was pretty much all Princeton that game. The guy right here running out, Ronnie Santiago, had himself a great game. He had 22 points, 4 for 7 behind the arc in that game, and it felt like almost every single time he got that ball, he was going for the 3 ball. It felt like he had more than just 4 that went in the hoop.
Yeah, and for Princeton, they have the same starters they've had in the last game. It is Rogny Santiago, number 0, outgoing right now. Jordan Johnson, what a shifty player he is. That's going to be a mismatch for the Comets all day, something they'll have to figure out on the defensive end. Number 5, Amari Phillips, who had himself a good game. Number 10, Sebastian Jordan. And then number 11, Amari Gill, who had a career-high day in Game 1.
Yeah, Amir Phillips, he led the Princeton attack with 22 points. As you can see, the head coach for the Princeton Vikings, he's starting off the year hot. The Comets, on the flip side, they're looking for their first 3-0 start since the 2022-2023 season. And that year, they have one of their better records that they've had in previous years.
As we get ready for tip-off, Princeton has a lot of guys in the 6'2 range. They don't have really anybody that you can back down, but they don't have that tall guy. As a technical foul is issued to Princeton to start the game. The first one is good, and the Comets will be on the board. A very rare situation. We don't even get a tip-off to start this one.
And Johnson adds his point totals for the year. He's averaging just about 20 points a game.
They're going to give the Comets 2 points to start today's game. You'd expect a lot of pressure from the Vikings, as out of bounds, and the first turnover of the game for either team goes on Tyler Lipinski.
Lipinski, he averages just about a turnover a game. Costly one, really, right there.
Johnson has it on the outside, dishes it inside, and that's going to be Amari Gill. He had a phenomenal game in his first outing.
20 points, had a rebound and some steals.
And this is a guy that averaged 3.5 points last year and drops a 20-piece in Game 1. Is the first one to get on the board for the Vikings today. Tosin Oladapo at the top. Look at the Vikings student section letting the Comets know it, as Lipinski beats his man and smokes the layup.
He's able to break through that defense perfectly. Fleming is going nuts on the court on the Comet sideline.
And Sebastian Jordan over Tosin Oladapo. Oladapo is kind of that other guard for this Comet team. He's not going to score like Bryson Johnson will, as Johnson shoots 3 here and can't knock it down. As Santiago, and he turns it over. Johnson gets in, will slow it down for the Comets. Bryson Johnson averaging 20 points through his first 2 games this season, had 26 in game 1 and then led game 2 with 14. As Jordan Johnson got a tip on it. He had 5 steals in the first game. A guy very gritty, doesn't really have the size you would hope, but at 5'11", but a guy that is willing to guard the best offensive player on the team, and that's going to be Bryson Johnson. There's a near turnover again. Rogny Santiago over it.
And they're playing some sticky defense so far in this game. I mean, they are perfect man-to-man, always on their player that they're marking.
And they forced North College Hill in the first game they played to 23 turnovers, which is quite a few. Something that the Comets have done a good job this season of. See, they have a big test today. Bryson Johnson has it at the top, trying to find answers on the outside. Sydney Wortham. And it's going to be a foul on the Vikings. Their first for the game and the first for either team.
Yeah, and it goes on Jordan Johnson, number 2. Came in flying and hit Bryson Johnson and looked like right in the chest. And pushes him right over. So looks like number 23, Jacob Lipinski, will throw it in for the Comets.
As Jacob Lipinski is kind of going to be that down-low guy. Not a guy you can get in foul trouble with this lack of size for the Comets. So we have a little bit of a stoppage here. Both coaches hearing the say.
It's either going to be Wortham with the pass. He's probably going to go backcourt, or Bryson Johnson.
As a look, and finally gets it into his brother Tyler. Lipinski spins, and it's the first steal of the game for Jordan Johnson. He spins it over, and it's blocked by Johnson. What a defensive play by the 6-foot senior. Oh, man. Spinning away from traffic. Lipinski spins it over to the bottom. It's Sidney Wortham, his first points of the game, and the Comets with a really good sequence there.
I mean, that block was electric, and it got some momentum. Look at the black hole going nuts right in the faces of the Vikings.
As dishes it to the corner, can't get it to drop. Comets fail to box out there. It'll be Santiago from the right wing, can't get it to go. Good box out there from Lipinski, and it'll be Comet basketball. So we'll look back at this last block. Bryson Johnson has hops, but only 6 feet tall. A little bit of a LeBron James chase down, you could call it. And that great pass.
Blocked by James.
And Tyler Lipinski has had his ways so far in the paint. Number 13. He uses that spin, had an open layup, but didn't get it to drop. As Terrence Jones will get his first chance tonight, number 12 for the Vikings. Johnson has it. Comets with a very slow offense, looking to find their shot. Has held their teams to under 50 points in both contests this year. It's Tosin Oladapo guarded by Santiago. Kicks it over, just about 4:30 left in this first quarter. Wortham beat him back door. Lipinski couldn't find him.
College doing a nice job spreading the ball around, spreading the wealth.
credit to Princeton. They're going to be man-on-man you would expect all day long, and they've done a very good job this drive. There's a little bit of extension there from Tyler Lipinski. Gets the foul call, and it's a charge going the way of the Vikings. So we see it again. Just the extension of the arm is going to get every time for Tyler Lipinski.
I mean, Lipinski, he fouls a lot. He almost fouled out of their last game. Sorry, no, not their last game, but the game prior against Fairmont. Just about 4 fouls. He's averaging close to about 3 fouls a game. 3.5 is the mark so far.
And a small sample size, but a guy you're going to need for this comp team. It's a travel going the other way. So like multiple turnovers for this Princeton team that takes care of the ball very good as it moves to the pivot foot there for Jordan.
It is loud so far in this arena. I mean, it's only going to keep getting louder and louder and louder as this game goes on, as long as it stays close like this.
Jacob Lipinski, very left-handed dominant, finds Sidney Wortham wide open on the left, cannot hit it, and in is Cole Swanson. He gets the offensive rebound, and the Comets lead for the first time tonight.
Swanson averaging 1.5 per game as goes up, and a foul will be called on, I don't know who it was. It's a shooting foul. 23.
And the coaches don't like it, but look down low. Cole Swanson's done a really good job of crashing the boards for this Mason team. And a foul there on Jacob Lipinski. Did a good job sliding his feet. Might have used a little bit of too much on the hands as Jordan Johnson knocks down the free throw. As the second one can't go, and the offensive rebound goes to the Vikings. Misses the layup and goes to the Comets. As Jacob Lipinski will take it himself. Six to 5 with just about halfway through this first quarter of play. Bryson Johnson with a spin, finds it inside, and it's going to be a foul. 2 shots coming for the Comets. Could have been a potential travel, but they let the Comets play on.
I mean, number 10 right there, he was asking for it. Sebastian Jordan, he was asking for the travel, and it probably could have went either way. If the foul did not occur, it probably would have been a travel on Johnson.
Johnson knocks down the first. He's been very good from the line this year.
And so far this season, the Comets shooting about 68% from the free throw line. Definitely kind of a step up from last year.
Yes, 68%, not something that's going to win you a ton of games, but they did a very good job against St. X in finishing out that game. As there's confusion down low, it looks like there might be a possible lane violation.
It looked
the Comets will get another chance.
Yeah, it looked like the Vikings left slightly early, so they're going to give Johnson a redo at the free throw.
Checking in for the Vikings is Alonzo Gill, brothers of number 11, Amari Gill. Terrence Jones checks out. Neither team in foul trouble so far in the quarter, just 2 fouls each. And another lane violation on the Vikings. Never do you see 2 opportunities to make a free throw. This would be the 3rd coming up. And you got to expect the Comets got to take advantage, as Amari Gill was fighting for his life at the bottom and just had to use his hands as the Comets take advantage and get the free throw to go, as it's a 3-point lead in favor of the Comets here at Princeton Arena. Sebastian Jordan has it at the top, guarded by Tyler Lipinski. Down low to Gill. Gill can't finish. Rebound, Jacob Lipinski.
See right there, Fleming was telling them to slow down a little bit, take some tempo, slow it down. You got 2 minutes and 40 seconds about 2.5 left remaining in the first period. Kind of take your time.
It's a back door there to Cole Swanson. He gets it to go. 4 points for the junior. The Comets lead by the most they have today, and Tyro Pinsky all over it to leave it out of bounds. But early in this game, you would think the Comets might have a little bit more trouble with this fast-paced offense, but so far, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing on the defensive end. Down low, it's going to be another turnover. Tyro Pinsky dishes it over to Bryson Johnson. Toby Aldapo checks in the first time for the Comets. Johnson wanted a foul, didn't get it. And transition for Jordan Johnson. So the Comets do a great job of shutting it down. Swanson gets over there at the last minute, but not quick enough. Alonzo Gill. And Lipinski trying to find an answer. It would be a timeout for Coach Fleming.
See, it goes around the horn. No one covering him, and he drains the three in the corner. Swanson almost got there in time to kind of contest it, but he wasn't able to get a hand kind of in his face or on the ball to stop it from going in, and a three-pointer good for the Vikings. It's 8-10 with 1:49 remaining in the first period. It's a lot closer than Princeton's first game, like we mentioned earlier on. It was 27-7. As you can see, the Comet Black Hole having fun here at the game, kind of being loud.
Yeah, as 20-minute drive for the Comets, but you would expect that Coach Fleming this is going to be the identity for this Mason team. They don't have the size, they don't necessarily even have the scores, but defense is something you can really control with how small this team is, and this perimeter defense has shown up to play against the Vikings today.
And you talk about the height, tallest player on the court for the Comets right now is probably 6'2".
That's Johnson with a move there inside, couldn't get the touch to go, and it will still beat Comet basketballs. Sidney Wortham fight underneath with Alonzo Gill. As Sidney Wortham misses the pass, and it will go to Santiago, and the layup is good.
Knotted it back up at 10. Got about 1:10 left. Try to get as much points here. If you're a Comet fan, you're going to want as much points as you can to try to get the momentum. Obviously, they haven't won by huge margins so far this season, so if you're a Comet fan, you're hoping for some points.
As Mason's not afraid to keep this ball for the entire rest of the first quarter. That ball, that's stuffed, and it's going to stay in. What a save by the Vikings. Transition for Jordan. Three-pointers, no good, and the Comets steal the possession right back. 30 seconds remaining in the quarter. 10-10 is the score. Johnson swings it over to Wortham. Expect the Comets to hold for one. Has great defense there from Gill. Gets it back to the Vikings, over to Santiago. Not the guy you want to leave as he hits the three-pointer. Johnson has 3 seconds, heaves it up at the last second. And the Vikings, with a little bit of a spark to end the first quarter, only lead by 3, a score of 13-10 in this GMC matchup between undefeated teams. We'll be back for second quarter action here on ICRC.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
you are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Back for second quarter action here at Viking Arena as the Princeton Vikings, they got a good last part of the first quarter as they lead 13-10. A packed arena here on this Friday night. As the Comets have done a good job limiting turnovers, they do there. And Trevor, so far in this game, Mason's played how they want to play. Princeton's a very high-paced team, and Mason not really the same. What do you see in this second quarter for the Vikings to kind of run away?
For the Vikings to run away, they got to pace up the game a little bit. You can see the Comets are taking their time with the ball and kind of just waiting to see if they can find an open lane and abuse that lane. If you're Princeton, you want to try to make a trap. You want to try to trap the players. Maybe run more of that full court press that we talked before we went on air that we're going to see a lot.
Oh, it's Tyler Lipinski with a really good move to the left hand, but can't finish. In transition is the Vikings. Santiago looked to square, and the Comets do a great job of recovering. Oh, inside, what a pass down low. It's Amari Gill from the feed of Jordan Johnson. As Wortham got hit, number 12, Terrence Jones, who just checked back into the game. Let's look at this pass here from Jordan Johnson. He beat Tosin Oladapo off the dribble.
And it looked like Gill probably would have dunked that one right there if he wanted to. As it goes out of bounds again for the Vikings, so the Comets will keep possession right in front of their own bench.
Jacob Lipinski has played the entire game so far. And the key for him is only one foul so far through the first quarter. He throws a baseball pass down to his brother, Tyler Lipinski, and he gets the layup to go. Brother connection there. As Jordan Johnson takes it in on Bryson Johnson. And it's going to be an on-the-ground foul. As not often do you see passes like this, but what a pass it was, right over Gill to his brother Tyler. Glad he made that one as he smoked one before.
I mean, he placed that beautifully over top Gill, right over top the outstretched arm. Perfect job by Lipinski to Lipinski.
As Jordan Johnson into Tosin Oladapo, and he didn't really see where he was on the court. Lipinski chooses to slow it down. Comets haven't really shot any three-pointers so far in this game. They've kind of taken it in as Toby Oladapo gets it from his brother.
I mean, the Comets aren't the best at the three-point ball, so why go with something that you aren't good with?
As what a 5-second defensive play it was from Sebastian Jordan, sitting down and playing some great defense on Toby Oladapo as he's a little frustrated. No Bryson Johnson on the court for the Comets, as Jordan will get one once the call doesn't get it. Rebound from Jacob Lipinski. Not a lot of ball handlers on the court for the Comets right now. Sid Wortham, first-year varsity guys. And something to mention for this Princeton team, 8 out of their 13 players have had 3 or more years on varsity, and with playing time at that. So one of the most experienced teams you'll see in the GMC or even in Ohio, as in goes Tyler Pinsky. Good job there from Sid Wortham to get it back, and his brother Jacob slows it down. It looks like almost the Comets are trying to survive without their ball handle facilitator, Bryson Johnson. There's good defense there from Jordan Johnson. Toby Oladapo finally finds Tyler Lipinski, and the Comets are just stagnant right now on the offensive end. And credit to the Princeton Vikings. You knew they would have really good defense, but they're stepping in their own right now halfway through the second quarter. It'll be a timeout for Coach C.J. Fleming. He's not afraid to use those timeouts. We've seen multiple times in today.
Already, two of their timeouts gone, and we have 4 minutes left in this first half. But again, Isaac, we talked about it. What does Princeton have to do if they want to run away with the game and speed up the game? The Comets are taking that completely away. They are trying to play for the last-minute win again. They are just moving back the tempo so much to where it's 15-12, and we are about to go to halftime.
Yeah, a lot of time left on this clock, 4:44, but I do see what you're saying. This is what a young coach, but a very experienced coach does, as a little cheerleading battle. You know, Princeton and Mason don't like each other, but it always feels like in these basketball games, as one of the Vikings cheerleaders takes a tumble there, at halftime, or excuse me, at any timeouts or halftime, they find ways to kind of get in each other's head besides the basketball game. As Princeton's ready, as Fleming taking as much time as possible to talk over with his team. 4:44 left in the first half. It's been a very slow, low-scoring first half.
Both Oladapo's out. Johnson back in and Swanson back in for the Comets. 4:44 remaining in the second period.
As a timeout might have been to look things over, but also get Bryson Johnson in the game. It looked like this Comet offense couldn't move at all without him in the game. As Johnson, double between the move and will take it inside, misses it, but gets it back and one. Jordan with the foul. The and one after the miss from Bryson Johnson.
Great hard charge, gets his own rebound and gets fouled as he goes back up for the second chance opportunity, a chance to make it a three-point play and tie the game.
And that's something to mention. Jordan Johnson is very good at defense. He had 5 steals in the first game just a couple days ago. But a little thing to mention is Bryson Johnson is taller. And he might be even a little bigger. They kind of have the same kind of play style and kind of the same build, but Johnson moved into the paint pretty easily there as we're all wrapped up at 15 here in the middle of the second quarter of play. As over in the corner, can't get it to go. And the Comets will reset. Rogny Santiago is really good at that three-point shot. He kind of had a down year last year in his junior campaign, 36% from three-point and 44% his sophomore year, but a guy that has had hundreds of three-pointers in game is tipping in there. Good hands from Jordan Johnson on Tosin Oladapo.
Yeah, and heading into this game, Santiago, even though it was only one game that they played so far, 71% from behind the arc.
As he's missed a couple days, Sidney Wortham picks it up, and the Comets take the lead back. Sebastian Jordan kicks it over to Gill. There's been a lot of standing around. As taking inside, it's going to be a travel. Sebastian Jordan's getting a little frustrated inside. He hasn't had his greatest game. 2 fouls, no points on the board, and the Comets take advantage again.
And it was, again, Jordan, he fell on the route. Johnson was wide open, and it slips right through his hands and goes out of bounds. So the Vikings now with the chance to get some more points on the board after the mishap.
As backdoor cut inside is good from Sebastian Jordan. He redeems the travel call. So he gets on the board with his first points of the game. Jump ball will go in favor of the Comets.
And Jordan already with 2 fouls for the Vikings. Hard-nosed defense for the Vikings. I mean, they are not letting Johnson get open at all. You can see number 11, Gill, on top of him at all times, probably one of their best defenders.
Jay Lipinski kicks it to his brother. Tyler wide open corner. Got it. And the Comets take it back. 20-17. Multiple lead changes in the second quarter. Just under 3 minutes. What a pass there it was from Jacob. Multiple times he's found his brother for open looks. So the Comets have kept up the pressure on defense. Three-pointer is no good from just checking in Zamiah Neal. As Johnson looks to slow it down with just about 2.5 left in the second quarter. Spinning, moving over, finding a lane, and gets the drop. Comets up 5 in the second quarter. And look at the student section for the Comets right up on that railing. As Santiago takes it into Johnson, can't get to go, rebound, Tyler Lipinski.
I mean, it is loud in this arena, not only from the fact that there is 2 huge student sections here. Everybody is getting involved in this game, and they are chanting loud in this stadium.
Some trips there. This foul going to be on Neal.
Look back at the last 2 Mason baskets across court. Three-pointer down the hatch, money, and then Johnson spins around. It goes around the hoop and right down, sinks it in.
It could have easily been another steal there from Jordan Johnson, but a good job of Bryson kind of picking up that dribble after the spin. Didn't have a lot of time to react. As Cole Swanson checks back into the game for the Comets. It's being guarded by Kenny Pope, his first time checking in today. As Tyler Lipinski finds Cole Swanson, and it's going to be a charge going the other way. Kenny Pope new into the game and makes an impact for the Vikings defense in a must-need stop.
Yeah, Lipinski did not like it. I mean, it could go. It's kind of an iffy call right there.
Yeah, I couldn't say I liked it either. It could have been. It looked like a jump stop there from Lipinski and not a lot of force going into Pope to get the charge call, but nonetheless, the Vikings get a must-needed stop. Down 5 on their home court. They had set 24 points in the first, 27 points in the first quarter, and they have 17 almost at halftime. As Toby Oladapo guarding Jordan Johnson. Inside will be Gill, can't knock it off the glass, and Jacob Lipinski does it again underneath. Wortham slows it down for the Comets again. 1 minute left, and a reach in there. Terrence Jones called for the foul. It'll be his second.
Right here, he tries to go to the outside, and you can see the reach in.
A little bit of a shove thereafter.
I mean, this game's going to get chippy. Any GMC game could get chippy, and it's already feeling like it's going to be.
And especially when Mason has the confidence now that they have. They've leveled up in every single game they've played so far. Started with Fairmont, a game you should win. They barely did win that game. And then St. X winning that game gave Mason a lot of confidence. And you didn't really know if it would be a blowout or not. But in this game so far, the ball wasn't even inbounded. And these teams are going after it.
Apparently they did actually charge a foul on Lipinski for the shove after the play. And then not really sure what happened there, if they just called kind of a mishap between the players or a foul.
Nonetheless, 4 fouls for the Vikings, so the next one will give Comets 2 shots in the bonus. You'd expect the Comets to hold for 1 here, though. Intense defense here from the Vikings. Lipinski tries to find inside. Looks down low to Tosin Oladapo. He resets. "15 seconds to go." Comets always like to have Johnson take this last shot. No foul call. They'll double, and then the foul comes. And that is a bad foul from the Vikings, not only because it is the 3rd on number 12, Terrence Jones, but it gives the Comets free throws with just 6 seconds left.
I mean, you can see right here, he bodied right into him.
And Johnson has showed he's really good at getting those fouls. Very good at the line so far this year. First one. Got it. Comets lead by the most they have today at 6.
I mean, Johnson, he's through this season so far, and actually tonight he has been almost perfect on the free throw shots.
Comets got to be careful to not allow a 3-pointer for one of these weapons. Checking in is Toby Oladapo. Probably the best defender on the Mason team. Is inbounding will be the Vikings. Santiago has it with 5 over to Jordan. Jordan taking it in, and a very good foul there from Sidney Wortham.
That is a good foul with 3 seconds left, but they're not even in the bonus.
Something to mention, though, that could have potentially been a clear path foul. He didn't have the greatest look, but you can't foul that intentional. You have to go for the ball. 3 seconds left. Comets do only have 3 fouls, so they can afford to give one more up, and they'll throw it away. The Comets will get another chance, as Princeton has struggled with turnover problems early in the first half.
And there they go. They sub out Oladapo and bring Johnson back in the game with the chance to get more points. I mean, you got to go Johnson and try to get Johnson to get that last shot up.
Just 3 seconds left. Vikings got to be careful not to foul. A little bit of a stoppage here. Waiting on clock. Would have been a little more clock they add, and they do. As Tosin Oladapo will take it, the heave is short. And that will end the first half of play. The Comets lead by the most they have all day, 24-17 on the road against a very good Princeton Viking team. We'll be here for the second half of coverage here on ICRC-TV.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
I never graduated from high school.
I realized I wanted to go back to school because I didn't want to work these back-breaking jobs the rest of my life. With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed to come back to school. I felt accomplished, made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Mom, I got it. What are you doing in there?
I got stuck.
Are you a dog?
I wouldn't do that. Have you seen the pliers? Where'd you find those?
It's not your birthday.
Sorry.
Bye, Grandpa.
Bye, Grandpa.
Take care of yourself.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Mom, I got it. What are you doing in there?
I got stuck.
Are you a dog?
I wouldn't do that. Have you seen the pliers? Where'd you find those?
It's not your birthday.
Sorry.
Bye, Grandpa.
Bye, Grandpa.
Take care of yourself.
the pliers? Where'd you find those?
It's not your birthday.
Sorry.
Bye, Grandpa.
Bye, Grandpa.
Take care of yourself.
Princeton Arena as the Comets lead over the Vikings 24-17. My name is Isaac Varga alongside my broadcast partner Trevor Rose. And Trevor, the Comets 2-0 this season, had to get really gritty wins to get those wins, but up ahead early against a very solid Princeton team.
Yeah, this Princeton team, obviously their first game and their only game so far, 89-64 was the final score against North College Hill, but that game, as it goes opposite way, and Princeton turnover immediately, and they'll score, making it 24-19.
Yeah, I would expect a lot of pressure coming in this second half from Coach Wyron. As Mason is going to keep slowing this game down.
And yeah, that's been the biggest part of this game. The Comets have just been slowing this game down and taking their time on their possessions.
As it's a hold there on the Vikings. It'll be their first foul of the half. They ran into a little bit of foul trouble at the end of the second quarter. A couple guys on the team. Sebastian Jordan has 2 fouls. Nobody on Mason really in foul trouble. The only one would be Tyler Opinski with 2.
And he typically has been in foul trouble a lot this season.
As Johnson takes it on the other Johnson as he finds Tosin Oladapo in the middle. Takes it up over the top and almost got it to drop. Could have been a foul call there. Rogni Santiago to the corner, a 3-pointer. Can't get to go. Rebound Comets. Was a great opportunity in transition. Great pass to Gill. Jake Opinski has to get it to the other side, guarded by the smaller Santiago. So take the mismatch and pick up his dribble. Comets have played in these tight games. Princeton, only their second game of the season. Their first game came just a few days ago on Wednesday. As Johnson kicks it over, and they reset. Wortham and his foul. That'll be the 3rd on Sebastian Jordan.
Already the 2nd of the period, and we still got a long time left. It's about 6 minutes. You can see the foul there by Jordan. He's trying to sell it off that he had his hands up, but he did get the push in a little bit.
And the thing that makes Princeton so intriguing and how they could be so good in the next couple of months is they used 13 guys in game 1, mostly because they started off to that hot start. They were up 20 points after the first quarter. But you look at it, there's so many guys on this team that even with a starter like Sebastian Jordan out, you have other guys, as the Comets don't really have that luxury. As Wortham at the top, the Comets have no business looking for a shot. Just under 6 minutes left in this third quarter. Tyler Opinski takes it inside of the right and lays it off the glass. Slow and steady for the Comets in the second half. They lead by 7. Over to Gill, and he's just off going the other way. Sidney Wortham with a great box out there on number 20, Mike Nixon, who hasn't got a lot of minutes so far this season. Only 1 minute in the first game. But look at this take here from Tyler Opinski. Uses the glass. And right here, Sidney Wortham boxes, and a little bit of a push there at the end from Nixon. Comets get it back.
Already the 3rd foul of the 3rd period. We have 5:35 remaining.
And something to mention for Mason, they haven't led a whole lot in the second half. The only time they have, they've had some turnover issues against pressure. We'll see if Princeton opts to go to that that press anytime soon. As Jake Lipinski will take it inside, almost shuffled the feet, missed it, got it again, and finds his brother Tyler in the corner, missed it. Rebound from Jacob Lipinski. Tries the backdoor cut, but it's a turnover. Santiago in transition. And Johnson takes it away, a track meet. Johnson over to Lipinski, and the Comets win the battles. They're up 9, their biggest lead of the day. As Jordan falls down, all the momentum in the favor of the Comets. Gill on the corner. Inside, great feed to Jordan. Good foul by Oladipo. But what a pass here. What hands there on the other end from Bryson Johnson. As you look here, good pass there from Gill and a good foul from Oladipo as Jordan Johnson wanted that and one. First one is good.
Puts him 4 for 5 on the year on free throws. He had 3 in their last game. And he had 4 in his last game, hit 3 of the 4.
Jordan Johnson, the second is good. Takes the deficit down to 7. As Bryson Johnson will have it against the larger Gill at full court. 4:30 left in this third quarter. Comets have led for the majority of the game. Johnson takes it inside and will be a block on Santiago. A good call there. And the Comets very close to the bonus. And what a difference that makes, Trevor, with 4:30 left in the period, and the Comets still only one more foul left, and they're going to be shooting free throws. Wortham inside, gets the foul call, and it's on Santiago. Gets the Comets not only to the bonus, but the second on Santiago.
You can see right here, he passes inside Wortham, and as he goes up, he gets hit right in that wrist as he was trying to get the ball up.
This is going to be the third on Santiago. Another foul trouble from one of the Viking star players. Wortham, first one is perfect. 29-21 is the lead for the Comets. Checking out is Tosin Oladapo. And checking in is his brother Toby Oladapo. Sid Wortham, second, can't get it to go, and Vikings looking to run. As a backdoor almost intercepted from Johnson. Kicks it over to Gill. Gill lines it up and got it to go. Amari Gill starting to get going from beyond three-point range. Timeout Princeton after the three-point made, and maybe a little bit of a spark after the three-pointer. Most good coaches call the timeout after a made basket to talk things over, but the lead is only 5.
Lead cut down to 5 with 4:03 remaining. But again, the Comets are in the bonus. Princeton put them in the bonus early, but great shot there by number 11, Gill. He got the ball and immediately he faked it with his eyes, went straight up and hit it, drained it in the face of Lipinski.
Talk about how many timeouts each team has. The Vikings have 4 remaining, and the Comets have 3. We've seen some issues with timeouts remaining, and as Coach Fleming will not be afraid at any time to use his timeouts. Hasn't used any in the second half. Has a little bit of full court pressure for the Vikings. So Comets will get it safely to Johnson. Just under 4 minutes left in this third quarter. Comets trying to get an upset. Up 5. Johnson kicks it over. And again, you talk about how much inside the Comets have done today. I can't remember the last time they've attempted a three-pointer besides that Tyler Lipinski wide open look. So Oladapo looks for options, goes to Sid Wortham. As Lipinski tees it up from the corner, got it to go! Tyler Lipinski makes it an 8-point game for the Mason Comets. Right back down is Santiago, and too much for Gill. All the momentum in favor of the boys in green.
At 3:13, you can watch. Great pass by Wortham, wide open is Tyler Lipinski. He drains it through. He missed both of his three-pointers that he has shot this season heading into this game, and he's already hit 2.
It's Bryson Johnson trying to orchestrate this offense. They've done a really good job defending and playing the offensive game. Almost a foul there from Jordan. He's got to be careful. He's got 3 guarding Lipinski. Very tight defense from Sebastian Jordan. Tries to take it. Kicks it over the corner, and Tosin Oladapo almost couldn't handle it. And it's going to be a timeout from Fleming. He is not happy. Only 2 more remaining for the Comets. And again, we mentioned it, but the Comets didn't turn it over. They weren't in trouble, and still Fleming didn't like what he saw and was willing to use a timeout.
Yeah, and the Comets only have 2 more timeouts left, and we still have a whole period left to play and some change remaining in the third. 32-24, the Comets, they're about to go over what they scored last game on Tuesday. They finished that game 34-33 over St. X. They're about to surpass that point, what they scored Tuesday, already in the third period.
As this Comet team won 4 games last year. They're 2-0 this year. They went on multiple streaks. One streak at the beginning of the year, they lost 8 of 9. They won a couple games, and then they lost 10 of 11 to end the season, one being against these Princeton Vikings. And Princeton has been at the top of the GMC. What a flip it would be here as Jacob Lipinski tries to get to Tyler, and a costly turnover there goes in favor of the Vikings. Trevor, the Vikings have been down most of today. They probably weren't expecting that coming into this game. How can they slow things down against this Mason pressure?
Honestly, what they need to do is they need to speed the game up. That's what they've been doing when they have been working hard and they've been in this game. They were upping the tempo. The Comets are the ones that are lowering the tempo.
As an open 3 there from Jordan, can't get it to go. Lipinski knocks the shorts down of Gill, trying to get a rebound. The battle down low is the real deal in the GMC. As Jordan will inbound. As Gill has it inside on the smaller, Oladapo can't finish. Another rush take it could be. And Jacob Lipinski will reset. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Jacob Lipinski spins around. Finds his brother, Tyler Lipinski. They've done that so many times today. Tyler with a spin and a move. Tyler Lipinski with a career day. Up 10, the Comets are. Going quick. Will they call an and one? They won't. It will be on the ground. And that's 50-50 there. And something I've mentioned, Princeton, when a big bucket goes down for the Comets, as we see the fancy footwork. Mostly Jacob Lipinski's known for that, but Tyler has done a phenomenal job today. We've seen after a made bucket, it's a lot of Princeton rushing to go score and answer, as there could have been and one, but the Comets lucky on the ground called.
Yeah, the Comets definitely are lucky right there. I thought for sure they were going to call the M1. He was up with the ball, about to go in the hoop, and then that's when they called the foul, but they say it's on the floor. I'm not sure if I agree, but if you're a Comet fan, you'll take it any day of the week.
Mason up 10, the most they've been today. Santiago tried to pull it, couldn't. Gill, a desperation shot goes, and that's just one of the better players in the GMC, knocking down a big shot for his team. As we see pressure here from the Vikings, they haven't really pursued a full press, as there's going to be a foul there from Alonzo Gill, and another just bad foul from the Vikings, because the Comets are 70 feet away from the basket, and then they just go down and get free throws now.
That's free throws, especially bringing up one of your best free throw shooters so far today. Johnson, he has almost been automatic from the free throw line.
And you talk about automatic with how good he's been under pressure. As it's very loud here at Princeton, but not only that, it's when they need it. He knocked down a couple big free throws against St. Xavier multiple times last year as a junior. He knocked down huge free throws, and so far this year he hasn't been under the pressure. Second one is right down the middle. Comets extend the lead again to 10. Minute 26 remaining in the third quarter. Look back at Alonzo Gill. He's a junior. He's one of those ones with not a lot of experience. He's played on varsity for 3 years, but not a lot of minutes in those times. Sebastian Jordan gets it over to Gill. Older brother. Multiple twin matchups today. It's Oladapo, good job guarding there. Sebastian Jordan takes it coast to coast. Good take there from the senior. Hasn't been his day, but finding a way to get this lead as close as possible as Toby Oladapo will slow it down, hands it over to Tosin. Comets need to get it across the line, and they do. 40 seconds remaining. Comets get in trouble. Dish it away. 30 seconds remaining in this third quarter. And now here comes the pressure from the Vikings. Comets get it back. And this is something I thought I'd see earlier in the game. Lipinski slowing it down even more. Had an open layup, decides to wait. 15 seconds to go. No Johnson on the court. Tyler Lipinski grabbed. Still ball on the floor. Wortham falls down. Another body on the ground. It comes over to Princeton. Princeton over the top, and he missed it. Oh man, what a momentum shifter it could have been. And that will end the third quarter. The Comets lead by 8 and trying to pull off the stunner in the GMC opener. Comets lead by 8 going into the fourth quarter.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Back for fourth quarter action here at Princeton High School, and the Comets lead by 8. They've led the majority of the second half. My name is Isaac Vargo alongside Trevor Rose. And Trevor, Princeton has only played one game. We mentioned multiple times. They haven't been down all year. Now they're back against the wall at home in the final quarter of play.
Final quarter of play, you got 8 minutes left. You're up by 8 in the fourth period. Princeton will start with possession.
And Bryson Johnson, not to mention, he's had a little bit of an illness going into this game. Hasn't played like it so far. That's good footwork there inside. Great take from Jordan Johnson to make it 6. And here comes the pressure from the Princeton Vikings. And Jordan Johnson can sit down with anybody. Tosin Oladapo, and that's going to be 10 seconds. Jordan Johnson loves it. And that's the momentum shifter that Princeton hasn't had all game long. And Tosin Oladapo's done a good job in not turning it over, but he hasn't really been pressured down the court like he has there.
Great job there by the bucket. And like you said, Oladapo wasn't really used to the pressure, and he wasn't able to get it over the court to kind of reset that time. Now it's only a 6-point game, and momentum is kind of with Princeton.
Gill trying to take over and gets it to go. Princeton starting to figure out the pressure. Wortham almost walked with it. Takes it in the right side. Guard by Jordan Johnson. He takes it away. Behind the back to Gill. Got it to go. And timeout Comets. The Princeton Vikings finding a way to chip back into this game. And Trevor, I don't mean to be the guy. I mean, I've watched 2 Mason Comet games, but I felt like that was the scouting report should have been for Princeton all game long.
Yeah, just play pressure the entire game. The Comets' whole point is to get it across that half-court line and dial the tempo way back. You watch them, they get up the court, they dial it back. They're taking 1 to 2 minutes off the clock before they're even trying to go and try and get a basket, and that's kind of where we're sitting at. They should have been doing that full-court press this entire game.
Yeah, I believe that at the beginning. That's something I wanted to talk about. And I think something about this Mason team is Sid Wortham and Tosin Aldapa don't have a lot of experience taking that ball up against pressure. And we saw it not only against Fairmont, but especially against St. X. It got exposed and almost lost the Comets the game. Now you face Jordan Johnson, who's one of the best at his job and sitting down and playing defense full court. It's got to feel like the Comets have got to get the ball in Bryson Johnson's hands when pressure is given. And they will stick with that, I'd assume, with the rest of the 7:07 left on this clock. Mason's got to find a way to deal with it. And it hasn't been a lot of games, but this is something you're giving your opponents with, that you can't deal with this pressure. And they get in Johnson's hands, and they slow it down. Trying to bring the double. Johnson surveys his options, looks over, and the Comets get it over cleanly.
Great way to break the press there for the Comets.
Bryson Johnson trying to lead his team. The senior hasn't really had any high school success with the team. Missed it there. Princeton with a chance to take the lead. Takes it inside, spins, and it's going to be a block on Johnson. Johnson not in any foul trouble at all. That would just be his second. Team's first. Princeton hasn't fouled yet this quarter. It's something that they had a huge problem with in the third quarter. Sidney Wortham checks out of the game. In comes Cole Swanson.
Swanson's definitely a guy you kind of want to have on the court.
A guy that can get you rebounds, but another guy that isn't necessarily the ball handler. Santiago off the screen. Tough shot, can't get it to go. Kind of a line drive shot it was. Jacob Lipinski's got to be in double digits with rebounds. Johnson.
Even though he doesn't have any points on the board, he's facilitating very well and rebounding the ball extremely well.
Something you need from your players. Necessarily hasn't been the Bryson Johnson show either. He's got 13 points. And it's taken away. Sebastian Jordan takes it on Swanson all the way, and it's rejected. And it's rejected again. They call it a foul on Lipinski, and he does not like it. And I don't think I do either. We'll see the replay.
You see the first one's blocked by Johnson and Swanson. The second one goes up, and that looked like it was bold.
Don't like it. Yeah, it's a tough one to call for sure. Gill being the bigger defender, the Comets are going to have to swipe. Could have got a little bit of the arm. Couldn't get the first to go. Princeton still trails. 5:40 to go. Wortham checks in and gives Tyler Lipinski a break. I don't think I've said the words today, Jacob Lipinski checked out. I think he has played the entire game. And against a tough matchup that Gill is only 6'2", but he plays a lot larger. Comets up by 1. 5:40 to go. And a little less pressure here. Very interesting. As Jacob Lipinski gets it across the line. Tosin Oladapo Kicks it over to Swanson. Comets haven't scored this quarter. Johnson takes it inside, and a lucky block. Could have went either way. And that is the 4th on Rogni Santiago. We'll see if Coach Wyant decides to keep him in. And it looks like, for the time being, over the desk comes Mike. Excuse me, they subbed at the last minute. Terrence Jones, and he will go get Rogni Santiago. So another 3-point threat out of the game for the Vikings. Over the top, barely got it for Tyler Lipinski. Takes it inside, finds his brother, could have had it. Swanson over to Lipinski, 5 minutes to go in the game. First GMC game for either team. And another defensive showdown. It's not afraid to take this clock all the way down. Spinning is Johnson. Inside, takes it and got it. Bryson Johnson, when the team needed the most, got it to go. Comets up 3, going quick is Johnson. He's blocked by the backboard, it looked like. Tyler Princey, pressure coming. Jacob, what a great job he's done at bringing the ball up the court. Coming is Gill. Good double, gets out of it, and Johnson couldn't hold on to it and knocks it off at the last moment. What a job there for Mason to survive and get a huge stop, but look at the finish.
Yeah, he did a great job getting the spin move inside the paint, going up with the right hand and getting it in.
Johnson averages 20 so far in the small sample size of 2 games, has 15 tonight, leading the Comets by a lot. He's going into this game, he has 50% of the points. He has 15 out of 38 tonight, and miscommunication between the brothers goes in the way of Princeton. Gill bringing it up. Wants to take it his own, and it'll be an on-the-ground foul going the Comets' way. It'll be the 3rd for Mason.
The 3rd of the period, and you can watch the foul. It's going to get called on number 13. It looks like Tyler Lipinski.
And that's not something you need. He's the guy in foul trouble.
And he's going to be subbed out.
That is a huge blow for the Comets. Another guy that can take the ball up the court in case of pressure. As Jordan takes it inside, can't get it to go. Gill got it. Johnson took it from him. Comets with numbers over to Lipinski. It's tipped. And slowing it down is the Comets. Johnson wants to go. Johnson all the way to the basket. Got it to go. Comets up by 5, under 4 minutes.
Great drive by Johnson into the paint. Timeout will be called by Princeton. We watch it again. He takes it in the paint, up with the right and gets it in. He has had himself a phenomenal night. 17 for the senior Johnson.
And fearless. It looks like a different Bryson Johnson than we saw last year. Johnson last year looked like a guy that he wanted to be the guy, but he was kind of afraid at some moments to take that big shot. Right there, the Comets have slowed it down all game. You were up 3, but right there, he took it into his own hands against the larger Gill, and what a finish it was there for Princeton. Down 5, they had a really good start to the 4th quarter, but Trevor, it still amazes me how they went away from that press.
Yeah, they have completely went away from the press after it worked so well to start the 4th period.
And I would expect down 5, 3:53 left, which could be a lot of clock, but when you're playing a Mason Comet game, it could be a lot less than 3:53 might feel.
I mean, this is where you're at the point. Princeton, they have fouls to give. If the Comets are taking too long with the ball, like they have been all night long, you kind of have to wonder, are they going to try to foul them so they get the ball back?
I think it's possible that they can go for a press situation where they go for the ball and it could be a possible foul, but I would say right now is a little too early. They do have 1 foul overall but you're not necessarily in that situation yet. Sebastian Jordan has had a way better second half. Santiago back into the game. He can't knock it down. He's had a cold night, especially in the second half.
Yeah, and he's had 4 fouls, so he is in some foul trouble.
And you would expect if Mason decides to go, they're going to go right at him, if possible.
I would challenge him.
Johnson tries to take it inside. Looks and finds Swanson over to Sidney Wortham. Almost thought about it. And miscommunication goes to the Comets' way. You got to think Coach Fleming has lost his mind the last 3 games.
I mean, he definitely doesn't like being in these one-possession games. I don't think anybody likes it.
Swanson find a crease and barely got it to Sidney Wortham in the middle. Got it to go. Comets up 7. 3 minutes remaining in the game.
Great job by Swanson to find Wortham in the paint.
Oh, what a take there. I mean, that is just prestige, Jordan Johnson. That is his game, number 2. And he won the foul as well. Now you're getting into a little sketchy territory if you're the Vikings. As he slipped down, Swanson has it, trying to get it away, and the last second, it's going to be a timeout on the Comets.
You watch back these last 2, you see him, he finds him, he does a little pump fake and then gets it back inside, and then a great job by Jordan Johnson, takes his way into the paint, gets it up. Timeout called by the Comets. They have no more timeouts remaining with 2.5 remaining in the 4th period.
And that is huge, not only because, I mean, I keep talking about it like I'm the Princeton coach, but I'm going to pressure every single time. And if Mason goes into a wall in a corner, they can't afford to call a timeout anymore. So we've seen multiple times Mason has had those problems. And we'll see if they decide and try and hold on to this game. I think the biggest part for Mason is that Bryson Johnson has only 2 fouls, so you can keep him in the remainder of the ball game. Mason has had absolutely no depth so far this year. They've only used about 6-7 guys so far. And for the Princeton Vikings, they've had to use a little less of a crew just based off the circumstances. They used 13 guys in game 1. Not a lot of teams you see with 13 players, let alone 13 guys he's willing to put in the game. But now down 5. This is a Princeton team that beat the Comets in first round by 30. Now Mason trying to answer the call. Trying to get it in bounds. Finally does to Wortham.
Princeton, you have fouls to give. Obviously, it's probably still a little too early to kind of foul too much.
You definitely want to be aggressive with 2 minutes left in the game. Oladapo trying to find answers and gets it to Lipinski at the last second. And it's to Johnson. Johnson with Gill on him. He's going to have to swing it over. But finds Gill, and Gill fouls. No shot. Ball on the ground. It will be the only second foul.
Yeah, it looked like it would go on number 11, Amir Gill. That'll be his second foul of the game. He has 16 points so far in this contest.
Yeah, he's shown that he's one of the best in the GMC so far. As he falls a little bit on his own as Lipinski gets it away. Comets with no timeouts. It could have been a walk, wasn't called. Comets trying to evade pressure. Could have been another foul. Still alive. And a jump ball. Wow, what a sequence.
It's going to stay Comet ball, though. Comets do have the possession arrow.
And it felt like a boxing match where Mason was up against the ropes, kept their guard up, and Lipinski trying to keep his temper.
I mean, he was getting wailed on. Both Lipinskis were getting wailed on. You can see right here. Boom. Back to Tyler.
Might have been hit in the face here.
Yeah, right there. That was a hit right to the face.
And Lipinski trying to find a way against Gill. Could have been a walk again. Comets trying to find a way, and they do, and it's a foul. And if it goes on Jordan, which it will, it's his 4th. So now decisions for Wyatt.
I mean, you have to keep your best players out there regardless if they're in foul trouble or not.
Yeah, only a minute 30 left.
A minute 30 left, but the other person in foul trouble, Santiago, he is not in the game right now. He is on the bench.
And a guy, he hasn't taken the best shot selection. A guy you can make almost any shot on the floor, but it might be a little bit of a problem with the discipline.
Go all the way back.
Tyler Lipinski tries to deal with the pressure as another foul will go on the Vikings, and now they're flirting with that 5 foul in the bonus. One more, and the Comets will have it. So we look back here, almost a collision. Four-man wrecking crew, everybody fell down.
Everybody falls down, but it looked like Tyler Lipinski really sold that one a little bit. I mean, he really didn't get hit that hard, but he did get hit a little hard.
Gotta find a way to win games. The Vikings trying to survive at home. One of the GMC favorites. The Comets were favored the second least odds behind Coleraine in the GMC.
Now it's just play keep away. They can't foul or you're going to go to the line, and that's going to be a foul.
Yeah, and Johnson wants to get the foul now, and I don't think he understood that with the foul, it's just going to give the Comets, and not only anybody, but Bryson Johnson to the free throw line.
Johnson, who has been pretty much 100%.
Oh, don't say that now. He's almost destined to miss now. 3 fouls on Johnson. Jordan Johnson, that is. And got the first to go. We're both looking into the screen like, did he announce their jinx? And this is a huge shot here. A 2-possession game at 6. If he makes the next one, it'll be 7. And that's the difference between a 2-possession game and a 3-possession game. Johnson got the second to go, icing his veins again. And now Princeton not good friends with this clock. Johnson has it on the other. Johnson will take it inside, and it's a foul on Bryson Johnson. Going to the line for 2 is Jordan Johnson.
That'll be Bryson Johnson's 3rd foul. Only one really in some foul. There's 2 people in foul trouble for the Comets. Bryson Johnson and Tyler Lipinski. Lipinski at 4, Johnson at 3.
And two main guys you cannot lose. If this game goes to overtime and you don't have Bryson Johnson, it's going to be a tough sledding for this Mason team. But it's a minute 11 left. 3 fouls isn't even crazy when you look at how much time is remaining. 6-point game. Johnson trying to make it 5. Doesn't. Rebound, Swanson. He's trying to find answers. And he does at the last second. Mason loves doing it. Jacob Lipinski looking around. Can't call a timeout. Comets have none. And a foul called. Wow. Every single time. I want to keep saying this reference. It feels like they're up against the wall, and it will be the bonus for Jacob Lipinski, who has not attempted a free throw today.
And it looks like Sebastian Jordan's going to foul out of the game. That will be his 5th foul of the night.
And who will Coach Wyatt go to next? And he'll go to Santiago. He's over in the other side. Comets electing to not have any rebounders. Lipinski just needs to make 1 to make it a 3-possession game and misses the first. What a huge free throw this is.
With 56 seconds left, I mean, this is a big time one. Like you just mentioned, it makes it a 3-possession game.
All the Cincinnati fans out there, Xavier's won against the UC Bearcats 79-74. As the second one is good. Comets lead by 7, under a minute to go. And a foul there from Oladapo, and that is not the smartest foul, as now the Vikings will get free throws, and that's the last thing you want to do if you're Mason.
Any foul in this game is going to give
the other team
two
shots.
Two shots. See, both Lipinski's talking to Oladapo like, hey, you're good, relax. First one goes in.
Jordan Johnson, not a guy you want to put at the free throw line, as Oladapo will check out. Offense, defense, Sidney Wortham checks into the game. And now it's just you got to play keep away. Mason has to find a way to escape without any turnovers. It feels like that last timeout that was used from Fleming could possibly come back to haunt this Comet team. If Johnson got the second one to go. Checking in for the Vikings will be number 12, Terrence Jones, but not after a timeout for the Princeton Vikings. They'll have 2 remaining.
I mean, right now, the Comets are just going to continue doing what they've been doing. But if you're Princeton, if you're Coach Wyatt, put the press back on. You have to put the press back on. It worked so well to start the 4th period. It propelled you from being down 8 to being down 2 with a minute in.
And you got to think, if you're Princeton, you can trap and you can put pressure on, but the problem with that is you cannot foul anymore, especially if Mason decides, and you got to think Coach Fleming is one of the best in Ohio with his age. He's got to put the ball in Bryson Johnson's hands any way possible to either get him to the free throw line or attract multiple Vikings to get the ball in another Comet's hands. What a dramatic finish it is here at Vikings Arena. The game before this, the Vikings girls team took down the Mason girls team. It was a close matchup until that 4th quarter, and then Princeton kind of ran away with it, but not anything like this one.
That game was all but the scrappiest, I'll tell you that. I was here watching that game earlier.
Very similar to this one. Johnson gets away with a little push. Trying to find answers, gets away again, beats the press. He's going to slow it down, 45 seconds. The entire team comes to corral him, and it's a foul, and it'll go on Johnson, Jordan Johnson's 4th. And now, another huge free throws. If Johnson knocks down the first, it will continue to be a 2-possession game. If he can knock down both, it will be a 3-possession game with 40 seconds remaining, 41 seconds. Johnson got it to go.
They bring in Oladapo, Toby Oladapo. He's probably one of the best defenders on this team.
And Johnson, haven't mentioned it a lot today, but he's going with a little bit of an illness into this game. Has always been the quiet leader. Today, hasn't knocked down. Comets up 7, 40 seconds to go. Princeton needing an answer. Spinning from Gill inside, can't get it to go. Rebound, and Johnson not giving up on the game. 2 shots as Princeton, 8 seconds went off the clock, precious seconds. And now 2 shots as we look back at it. The Comets could get this rebound. Man, how close could it have been to a finishing touch? Now, offense, defense. Tyler Lipinski will check out of the game for Tosin Oladapo, and Sid Wortham will be back in the game. For the Vikings, it will be number 3, Kenny Pope, number 15, Alonzo Gill. At the line is Jordan Johnson. And the 2 behind him are Amari Gill, as well as Mike Nixon. 6-point game. Got the second to go, makes it a 5-point game. Jordan Johnson, the main guy in that press, cannot foul any longer, or the Vikings will lose their defensive anchor. Johnson almost runs out of room, gets it back. Comets got and a foul called on the opposite side away from the ball, and it'll be, I believe it should be Lipinski at the line. Hasn't been the greatest free throw shooter, but you'd only expect him to have to make 1. 25 seconds to go. Princeton with 2 timeouts remaining. And it will be Johnson at the line.
Maybe they called it on They looked like they called it on Gill as Johnson went around.
Yeah, I might have got distracted by all of the bodies on the ground. The opposite side, Johnson knocks it down again. He goes into 21 points on the game. And again.
And you can't even imagine to believe how many rebounds does Johnson have and how many assists has he, how many times has he facilitated the ball for some points?
Johnson got it to go. Comets lead by 7. 25 seconds to go. Jordan Johnson takes it down. Finds Gill. Gill can't get to go. Rebound. Wortham punched in the face, but a foul.
Don't know.
And the clock is extremely wrong. It's a 7-point game, 17 seconds to go. Sidney Wortham got one from Jordan Johnson. That should be the 5th on Johnson.
Unless they called it, I think, on Alonzo Gill, number 15. No,
man.
No, it is actually on number 2. He's coming out of the game.
And yeah, that's on Jordan Johnson. Now he's out of the game, and the Comets can feel it. The student section can feel it. I was told by the Black Hole that nobody would really show up for this game.
I mean, look at the support they got.
What an unbelievable win it would be, and a signature one in Game 3 in the Coach Fleming era. Got it to go. It's an 8-point lead with 17 seconds. The Comets have reached the 50-point mark for the first time this season, trying to edge and win a game in the GMC. The second isn't good. Gill brings it down, sends it to his brother. The 3-point shot is up, missed it. Johnson doesn't get it, gets it back at the last second, and the Mason Comets define the odds. In the last second, though, will they let him play?
No, I think they will, and it's getting into it.
A little scuffle here at the end. You knew it would be, if the Comets could find a way, it would be a little bit chippy between Wortham and that is Gill. I mean, Coach Fleming's out there letting the Princeton coach know about it. The Comet faithful has arrived, and will they call it?
I mean, they have to call it.
They will.
I don't think you can let this game go on after that altercation. You call the game, but just like that, the Comets' first 3-0 start of the season.
And one unbelievable upset. They continue to define the odds in the GMC. They win by 8 in an unbelievable upset against the Vikings. The Comets move to 3-0. The Vikings drop to 1-1 and 0-1 in the GMC. I've been Isaac Barr alongside Trevor Rose. We appreciate you tuning in. And the Comets continue to shock the world.